Really don't like how projects in the round look when you fasten them off and weave in your ends? If you don't, maybe try the invisible join in crochet. It makes it look more uniform to the top edge of your projects, and it's really not that hard to complete. If you're ready to learn, I'm Rachel from Hope Corner Farm, and by day I'm a home ec teacher who teaches hundreds of students how to crochet. And let's grab a hook and some yarn, and we'll get crocheting. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you get notifications of when I post new videos, and don't forget to give me some feedback on this video. Give me a like or a comment, let me know what I did well or things that I could improve upon. For today's tutorial, you're going to need to gather a few things. So first off, I created my circular round here with a size J 6.0 millimeter crochet hook and some size 4 medium weight yarn. Use whatever works best for you. You're definitely going to need a yarn needle, and you're definitely going to need a pair of scissors. Today's tutorial is written using US crochet terms. So when you get to the end of your round and you're ready to join, the first thing you need to do is cut your round free from the yarn ball. So now the invisible join is done at the end of your project when you don't have any more to add, or if you're switching colors and want to close the round. So I have cut my yarn free, leaving a longer yarn tail, because if you go too short, it's going to get you at the end where you have to really work to weave in your ends. So what I do now, here's the last double crochet that I completed for the round. I'm just going to take and I'm going to keep pulling until that yarn tail pulls all the way out of the top of that last double crochet. So you can see the yarn coming out. This is the last double crochet that I completed. Now I'm going to bring in my yarn needle. You could do this with a crochet hook, but I found it's way easier to do it with a yarn needle. I'm just going to thread my yarn onto my yarn needle. Now, this is key. If you chained 3 to start, I'll show you that one here in just a minute, you would work into the top of the first double crochet that you completed. Now, I chained 2 to start, so that does not count as a crochet stitch. So the actual first stitch that counted for my row is this double crochet, but I'm not going to work into it. I'm actually going to come over here into this stitch right here because I don't want to add an extra stitch to my stitch count. So what I do in the top of the second double crochet, I'm going to insert my yarn needle just like I would for my crochet hook. So right into this little tiny gap right here. Hopefully you can see that. My yarn needle is just going across that stitch just like that. Now I'm going to pull my yarn and pull my yarn. We're starting to close our gap here. So notice I've kind of closed that gap. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my yarn needle and I'm going to go down into the top of that last double crochet that we just completed, and I'm going to pick up just the back loop only. So I'm inserting my yarn needle down and angling it towards the back. So then I'm going to carefully pull this and I'm going to pull this closed. Now notice that makes it look like the top of a crochet stitch, and it's one you could work into, which is why you have to work into the second stitch of the row. If you work into the first stitch of the row, whatever counts as your first stitch, whether it's a double crochet or a chain, whatever counts as the first stitch of the row, you're going to skip over it and you're going to work into the second stitch for the row. That is really important. Otherwise, you're going to keep adding one crochet stitch, and that's going to mess up your stitch count. So after I've done this, then I come back here and I'm going to do a little tiny security loop just around one piece of some stitch. Doesn't matter what part, but I'm just going to kind of weave around it to help with my security. Now I'm wanting to keep my yarn kind of, or the top, just the same size as the other stitches, so I'm kind of holding them in place. And then I'm going to weave in my yarn tail kind of like I normally would. I like to go a couple different directions. I go down, I go across, I usually kind of come back up because I like to do a bit of a U shape. Either way, you can see I wanted to keep that in place, so I kind of held it with my thumb and my ring finger there. And then you can cut your yarn off. And then that completes your invisible join. Notice it looks like the tops of the rest of the stitches, and it creates a nicer look to the top of your projects. This is how you would normally finish it off. Notice you can see where that join is at compared to this one. It's harder to tell where that join is at, and it has a little bit of an extra bump there. So that's why I like to use the invisible join compared to the slip stitch to join. Let me show you how to do this on a granny square. So again, the way most people tend to close their rounds of stitches, whether it's in a circle or in a granny square like this, is you're going to slip stitch to the first stitch of the row. So if I were traditionally closing this, I would go to the top of that chain 3, I would yarn over, pull through that stitch and through the loop on my hook, so I slip stitched it together, and then to fasten off, I'd cut my yarn, and then I'd yarn over, and then I'd just pull through that, and I'd weave in my ends. So that is what a traditional close to a round looks like. So after you weave in this end, it's not quite as noticeable, but you will have a little bump here. So now we have the exact same square, and I'm going to show you how to invisible join this as well. So again, I have cut my square free from my yarn ball. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep pulling that yarn tail out from the top of the last double crochet, or the last stitch that I crocheted for the round. So this is the last stitch of the round. My yarn tail is now coming out through the top of it. I'm going to thread on my yarn needle. And again, we want to work our invisible join into the second stitch that counts for the round. So again, remember I said my chain 3 counts as a stitch, but because we're doing the invisible join and we don't want to pick up an extra stitch, we're going to work into the second stitch that counts for the round. So it's this stitch right here. So again, I take my yarn needle and I'm going to go in the same spot that I would work a regular stitch into. I'm going to go across, picking up just the 2 loops for the top of that stitch. I'm going to thread my yarn through there. Now we'll tighten things up. We want to make it about the same size as the rest of these stitches so that we're there at this point right now. Now we're going to come back to the last stitch we created for the round. We're going to go like we would be picking up the back loop. We're going to insert from the top of the stitch, angling to the back. We're going to tighten our loops as well. Again, get that loop looking about like the rest of them. So notice here it is right here. It's about the same size as these other 2. Now I'm going to hold this tight, and then I'm going to pin with my thumb and my middle finger here so I keep things the same length so it doesn't move on me. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to take a tiny little security stitch, and then I'm going to weave down just a little bit here. Now at this point, I stop and check to make sure that that invisible join is still the same size as the rest of the tops of the stitches, and it is. So I can keep weaving in my ends. I weave it in like I normally would. One more check here to make sure it's the same size. It might be just a hair big, so I'm going to tighten just a little bit, because then I'm going to do one more security wrap here around a loop. And then I like to go a different direction. And then I'm going to cut off my yarn. And then that completes the invisible join to the top of this granny square. Notice here it is right here. It looks like the rest of the granny squares on the top. Let me show you the difference here between these 2. So here is my traditional join. You can see where I joined it here. There's a little bit of a bump. It's a little bit easier to see. Here is the invisible join. If you look at it, you cannot tell where you joined it from the top if you do a good job of making sure it's the same size. It makes it look a little more seamless, a little more invisible, and that's how to do an invisible join in crochet. I like how it looks. It makes things look a lot cleaner and a lot neater for your finished projects. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you get notifications of when I post new videos. And if you're looking to learn more crochet tips and tricks, you could check out my video on crochet tension right here. And I hope you have a wonderful day.